Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Riled Up. I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew, a player.
And I'm a collector, seller, and I thought we would have some slow time before the hunted, but man, is there a lot. There is a lot to cover. What's got you riled up this week?
Well, first of all, I was riled up that I made a wrestling promo the first day that Kiki announced it, and you were like egging me on. You were like, "Yeah, you do it. It'd be awesome. Here's these videos you can watch to get boned up on the wrestling type of stuff." Because I really haven't watched it in forever. It was just something I enjoyed as a kid. And you're the actual wrestling fan, but apparently it's not over this Friday. I misread the date, so you've got until next Friday to do it, right?
Yeah, I was really hoping. I was poking through the post, hoping that some other people had uploaded theirs, but
there was one. There was an Ian. It was like Final Spirit or something like that. I followed him on Blue Sky, which is another thing I'm riled up about this week. I love Blue Sky. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, there's a reason why social media is so addicting. It's just especially I think there's just a lot of good vibes. People just want to talk and be nice because the other place is very much not nice.
Yeah, I finally cut over to it. You'll notice that I'm still on the free plan for Buffer, but you'll start seeing my posts on Blue Sky instead of Instagram, which I don't know who was coming in from Instagram anyways, so it's probably for the best it's replaced.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've used Instagram in years, but I haven't used really any social media in a long time. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into this Dev Talk 10. Honestly,
Dev Talk 10. Okay, tell me your most excited part about it right off the bat.
Gauge 0.
Yeah, that's exciting. But I don't think it was the most exciting. I think for me, we finally understand now what micro in the micro extended art means. It's micro text box. What madness! I did catch that. Yeah, he kept saying it over and over and over. They must have gotten flack. I think James White listens to the podcast. He understands how much we were making fun of the micro extended art being bigger, but now so he's very clearly micro text box extended art. Yeah,
that the thing that you focus on is the text box.
Right.
Well, no, so. Oh man, if I still played Magic, I'd go back and get those all text lands because I saw somebody do the all text bauble on Blue Sky. That was a great meme. It's just like,
oh, really?
Is a titanium bauble. Its color is blue. When you pitch it, it
I think I have that. I have that secret layer upstairs. It's in my collection of secret layers. I love the wordy ones.
It's like if there weren't ironic hipsters, it wouldn't sell a single one.
True.
All right, well, we got the micro text box, which is just silly, but fine. I get it. Micro text box. But how come you aren't more excited about Gauge 0? Because he's talking about the Arachne Slip Through the Cracks promo, and it's also going to be a numbered. Well, I don't think it's going to be serialized, but it's going to have a number on it. He said it would be cool if it was serialized. But yeah, apparently the new Arachne is going to have the treatment,
which I think the reason I wasn't excited about it was because he's tempering expectations right out the gate. Like, it's not the foiling they were hoping for. It doesn't pop. I think it's his exact wording. It's like, it doesn't pop like they want it. It's not quite there yet, but this is like the first go at it. So I will be very interested to see how it looks, but I'm not expecting anything too crazy. It's actually honestly kind of disappointing that they're testing it on such a vibrant card. like that, like Slip Through the Cracks like has a lot of color, a lot of like I don't know, I think it has a lot of potential for the foiling. So to have like a very muted foiling on it, I think is a little disappointing. But
Well,
we won't really know until we see.
The Marvel Slip Through the Cracks in the gem packs, which that's a great segue into the gem packs, because we got a tiny little bit of information about the gem packs, because they definitely seemed like they were keeping their cards close to the vest. Like he just was saying, these are chase cards, there's cold foils, there's extended arts, whatever. So it almost sounds like whenever you open it up, you're really rolling the dice, except if the dice roll is really awesome, let's get some actual staples in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see. I wonder if they'll release what the pull rates are, but yeah. So the gem packs are going to be 3-card packs. You'll get 1 regular print, 1 premium foil, being either Rainbow, Cold, or Marvel, and 1 art card. I'm very curious what the art cards are going to be. They said, so the first one, so they talk about the cartons. So basically, depending on how many armor events you have, how many unique players you have, and how many events within the seasonal period, depends on how many cartons you get. But I think everyone gets a default of 1 carton, which is 50 packs. And, each of the... Yeah, every 2 months. So it'll be twice a season. It's a 32 card set, 1 Marvel, 8 cold foils, 22 rainbow foils, and 23 non-foil cards. So we've got lots of cards going to be getting some special treatment. I'm expecting them all to be unique from sets, I think. Right, like a new extended art, or something like that. Kind of like what they do with normal armories.
I would love to see Command and Conquer in it, but I almost just want to, shoot for the middle and say more along the lines that I'm pretty positive Erase Face might be in it, because that's an Uprising type card, and it's seeing more play all the time with this meta, at least.
I'm very excited for this because I think this addresses one of the bigger player problems out there. I don't even want to call it a problem, but a lot of people feel dejected that, like, if an event isn't garnering XP, a lot of players just sit out. Like some of the more competitive players only show up for the big nights. They're not showing up for the fun nights or the silly nights. But with this program, it's up to the store to decide how the packs get allocated. They are highly recommending, 1 pack, or the packs are used for the armor event, but other events get packs too. And that is up to the store's discretion. And I think this really incentivizes everyone to show up for all the events, not just what gets you XP.
Yeah, I'll show up for Ultimate Pit Fight for a gem pack for sure. Right?
Yeah. And I think people will be a little sillier, which is, I think, the best part of it. Because this is going to be more... Well, I mean, it's going to be per the store, but I think the idea is it'll be a lot more up to the store's discretion. So, everyone who shows up just gets a pack. Not like they can have it so, maybe the top 8 each get like a number of packs, but their default, what they're recommending is 1 pack per person that shows up to each event. So, in that spirit of things, I think we'll see a lot more people showing up to events, a lot higher unique players showing up in the gem numbers. And, that's a lot of chances to help newer players. So, and people maybe not take things as seriously, right? Like, I wouldn't want to roll up against you at an armory event. I'd be scared. But no, if you're rolling up with like your Bennett Blitz deck, then now we're talking. Let's
yeah, I actually kind of want to make a Genus what you need now that I've got the mustache.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great.
He's got a pipe. I'm gonna smoke a pipe in Fab. I got my Magrar. Get myself a Zen State token.
That was funny. I like that you picked up those 2 cards. I actually picked up a ton of Genus foils today, and
Wow.
also sold a couple Zen State tokens today. So it was we're all over the place. It's yeah, I've been picking up a lot. But
I really enjoyed watching your opening stream where you brought in the mail call with all the stuff you bought.
oh yeah, yeah, that was a silly mail call.
The number of cold foil rhinos is just breathtaking.
Oh, that wasn't even the big one.
Which one was the biggest?
No. So I bought, those are the ones that I bought before I bought the 45 pack of Rhinar cold foils. Those are still on the way to the warehouse. Like, I have 45 more Rhinars coming.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah.
And spoiler for later. Hey, if you're going to actually make me sit here and talk to people without you while you go to the bathroom, you've got to come back with your binder that has your girlfriends in it.
Oh, the ladies, the binder's full of women.
Yeah, no, it's
I can
a
do
flesh
that.
and blood card, and it's absolutely crazy how many you have. But that could be a surprise. Maybe we won't get there. Maybe your bladder will handle the entire 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll see. I could start off immediately after this episode. I'll be doing Rosetta case opening. So I can bring it down during that time, if nothing else. So.
Ooh, Eddie, yeah, it's the binders full of women. We got commenter. Can't handle it. You think it's gonna be all feet, but it's not. But anyway, what do you think about Blitz? Do you think it's a competitive format?
Currently?
Yeah. Or ever.
No. No. I mean, I think it's coming into it. I would say it's probably come into it in the last 2 months. So I think it's starting to be competitive, and it's probably brought back all the people who really wanted it in the first place. But
well, I mean, I really hope so, because I mean, so we talked about Blue Sky earlier, and I'm literally addicted to it. I'm looking at everybody's posts and whatnot, and the person who won what was a skirmish on Blaze, Erica Forslav. I hope I'm saying her name right. But anyway, she posts her armory recaps. A lot of people do. And she's like back-to-back armories just going 4-0 on Blaze. And like, I don't want to, I mean this in good spirit because she's obviously great at the game, but it's one of those things where it's like, I thought Blitz wasn't a competitive format. Did all your opponents get unlucky?
Yeah, I honestly, actually, no, Blaze would be a fantastic pick in a gem pack, I think. Right?
Well, if it's already got a rainbow treatment and a cold foil treatment from promos. Not to say that they can't do it again, but ooh, what if the marbles Blaze? Yeah.
That would be silly, but fantastic. I would be all aboard that train, actually. I mean, just because it's so heavy in the meta, and you're not,
and this would be like a standard way to get the card instead of a like
drive a couple
somewhere.
hours. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I hope Blaze ends up in a gem pack. So.
Just in time to be LL'd, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I really do think it is competitive, and that's where I was going with that, because look at that. What is that? 28 different heroes? I didn't actually count, but it is up there.
Oh, we're talking skirmish season 10?
Yeah.
Or what are we talking? Oh, here, let me.
Yeah. The number of different heroes. Oh, okay. You've got one coming up. All right.
Oh yeah, I prepared this time.
Nice.
Well.
You thought you did.
We'll see if it lets me open WebP files. I always forget that I've got a Blitz. Uh-oh. What? Why isn't it? Come on. Please.
Well, you know what? It's 29. I just counted.
Oh,
It's
jeez. Oh gosh, why is it so
You're
big?
you're so good at this. No, I'm just
No, I thought the whole thing locked up because you were so still for so long. I was like, oh no, did everything freeze? And then, oh my gosh, why is this so huge? Okay,
no,
well,
it's just that sociopath thing, you know. I space out, and it's just
yeah.
like Dennis sitting in the police interrogation room. Yeah, so 29 different heroes. Oh, and actually, the thing that says 11, I think that's actually 13 down there. So yeah, so 11 isn't even right. So if you add up all the numbers and come to 27, it's actually 29. But I mean, Aurora and KO at the top of the list. With honestly, I'm surprised that Blaze didn't get Blaze and Victor being tied. I'm really kind of shocked that KO and Aurora had more wins. What do you think about that?
I mean, Aurora, I think makes sense. Okay, I mean, just looking at like I was going through like the recap, the initial recap, not because this was the meta minute, but the actual like recap of the week 1, and you know, seeing the number of KOs, not just in the 1 slot, but the 2 slot as well, makes me think, you know, KO's in a really good spot. Aurora, I mean, it was such a good set. I think, you know, Rosetta, I'm honestly surprised Aurora is the only Rosetta hero.
Well, up towards the top anyway.
Well,
Florian,
yeah.
Vernon, and Cecilia all got 3. I think one of the most interesting ones on here is 4 KO Berserker run. What was it? Cardnyang in South Korea, Eugene C won on KO Berserker run, and that was actually crazy enough that Brian brought it up in the dev talk as well, and he said that it involved some kind of shenanigans with 10 foot tall and bulletproof, which, you know, it would be really, really awesome if somebody tear limb from limbed into a 10 foot tall and bulletproof, won the dice roll and came in for 30.
Yeah, you know, Victor's doing pretty. Actually, I don't know. So Victor got 40 points this season. And he is currently at the top. He's only in the number 4 slot for week 1, but he is what, 60 points from Living Legend, I think, at this point.
Yeah, he's got a lot of value because, I mean, he just blocks really well, and if he makes a gold, he refreshes his hand, and then he's still got huge guardian attacks that are, it's a little easier and feasible to swap to aggro as a guardian in Blitz because, you know, there's not that much life, so it makes a big difference.
Yeah, and point wise, sorry, my voice is a little cracky. Point wise, you know, we're looking at, so the top earners for this season is, you know, number 1 Blaze at 65. Number 2 looks to be Aurora at 55. So, you know, those obviously, I am actually kind of, yeah, that does kind of make me surprised that Blaze isn't higher on that. And then number 3 is KO, and then 4 is Zen, who
Zen already almost, well, he got banned and brought back once.
Yeah,
you know, they changed time and space to bring him back to life. I also Data Doll Mark II. Holy crap, that is a character that has gone, like, that's what Dumpster Dive is all about. Kasharn's article about Dumpster Dive. Data Doll is the original Dumpster. That hero is the Dumpster, and now it is so good they had to ban Hadron Collider just so that there wouldn't be so many items, and it's still pretty ridiculous.
yeah, I was surprised. Well, actually, you know, before I saw the minutes, the metagame minute, I was looking at the recap, and I was really surprised to see the Vinset names. So apparently I was like, oh man, Vinset, but that was all of them. I think they just picked, they featured all the Vinset wins. They're really pushing for Vinset here. So
Well, I mean, Shane had. Well, maybe I'm speaking too much from my own place, but like Shane was so close to my heart. I love playing Shane, and Vincent doesn't really scratch that same itch, even though she's got a lot of the same cards. But I mean, maybe if they make her, you know, if she gets as busted as Shane, maybe that'll change my mind.
And really, what do you say? She's probably just like one good card away.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she can already get wins. Any hero that is up there in any kind of capacity that gets like a decent card, like Felling the Crown level strong, they'll move to the top of that list probably. Well, I guess maybe it would take more than that because we've got 2 heroes that actually have Felling the Crown and they're only in the middle. So maybe I picked a horrible analogy there.
Yeah, but I mean, I did see, you know, we're talking about Dev Talk 10. I mean, they were really bringing up the expansion slots and teasing some of the heroes who are getting what sounds to be pretty solid cards in the expansion. Like, it's actually almost like they were hyping up the expansion slots more than the rest of the Hunted set. But, you know, the big one that came to me was the Vincent, you know, because Vincent has just kind of always been on that edge. And if she gets that, you know, a really good card, especially like, I mean, look at the other expansion slot cards. Like you look at like Warmongers. What was the what's the one that I can never pull for you in Bright Lights?
Oh, Eloquent Eulogy.
No, the one I've averaged 1 per 4 cases on.
Already Dead.
Already Dead, yeah, right. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of big money cards in the expansion slot, a lot of staples in the expansion slots, and I know Finset's getting some proper treatment. Well, I mean, I'm very excited about it. I don't know.
Yeah, the expansion slot's crazy because I mean, you hit so many unsheathed, and I remember like, okay, we're talking day 1 Rosetta unsheathed probably wasn't higher than like $4 or $5, right? And it's just like, what is it now? Is it 14, 15, something like that still?
Oh, I don't know. I think the last I saw it was like 9.
Yeah. But anyway, it's like it's in the expansion slot, and it's for a hero that isn't even meta, and even at $9, it's not even meta. But it's in the expansion slot, so your average person is only going to pull like one specific one of those. You know, aside from clumping, which I think is its whole thing anyway. I think the clumping is engineered. I think they do that sort of like, you know, they made Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue so that you had to find your friends and trade.
Yeah. But, you know, I would say I put my... I believe in Vincent. I believe in Brian. I have spent more on individual cards than I think I've ever spent before preparing for the Hunted. I was gonna say, you know, I put my money where my mouth is. I went real big. I went through some constructed decks for Vincent. You know, she's rolling 3 of each of the widespreads, you know, Destruction, Ruin, Annihilation, and I bought a bunch in foils. That's I think one of the key things, and this is something you've brought up to me before too, right? Is, you know, once the people have been already buying them out, and they're bought out all the non-foils up to the point where rainbow foils are the same price or cheaper. So, but once they actually pop off, that's when the rainbow foils, you know, divorce. Well, they go higher, because normally, I mean, sadly, your most cards, you know, do stick around the same between the foil. I mean, there's a little bit like a small percent bump, but meta cards in foil 3-4x the non-foils normally. So I'm really excited to see, you know, those cards pop off. And what was the other one? Invert Existence. That one is more my speed. That's about a quarter. But you know, you're seeing.
So you asked me about these earlier today, and I feel like I feel like even though going in on the rainbow foil widespreads, that might, I mean, it'll probably pay off, honestly, but the one that will really pay off is that absolutely invert existence, because it's one of those things where I can't believe it's as cheap as it is, and other stuff has already started to go up in Monarch. Like, I mean, Soul Shield is a decently expensive, excuse me, card.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the invert existence being an instant, being able to interact with the graveyard. We're about to have Syndra in the set that seems like she's going to be destroying her daggers all the time. So, you know, she destroys her daggers, invert existence. You're playing against Vincent, and, you know, you don't have to banish attack actions and non-attack actions. You just banish whatever you want, and if a non-attack and an attack are banished this way, you deal 2 damage. So, if you just want to screw over a Draconic hero, that card is great.
Yeah, I just can't believe it's so cheap. And one of my big problems is always just trying to like, I'm always looking for multiples from a person. I really hate buying like one off of like 20 people, so I'll usually pay a little extra. But a lot of, yeah, not a lot of people carrying a lot of stock in these. People aren't like, I don't know, I feel like when I have a card and I drop, it's like, oh, here's 20 of them, or here's 30 of them, and it's like, I really wish I could get that on TCG.
Well, it could be that the people who actually have the singles from Monarch listed might not even really list Fab anymore. Like, if they've just got like one invert existence, or maybe it's just been so long since they've cracked Monarch, that's all they got left.
Yeah, and you know, not financial advice while we're talking Monarch, but I just picked up a ton of sealed Monarch. You know, first edition boxes dropping to like $50, with my calculated EV of those being at like $72. I was like buying them up, but you know, there's still some left.
Honestly, you know, this is obviously just my opinion. If you can buy a box for $50, I mean, I'll open a box that has an EV of $40 for $50.
Oh yeah,
like,
I mean that's just a good night out, right? Like,
yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about opening up a $70 EV box for $50, that sounds like a fun gamble, to be honest.
Yeah, so lots of fun openings. Actually, I bought. We had talked briefly about, you know, we're gonna have probably a special opening later in the month, and I bought my box for that. I think it's the most I've ever spent on a single sealed box of anything. Like, even more than the collector boxes for Magic. Like,
unless you went really wild, I'm gonna guess that you bought a First Ed Crew box.
Immediately guessed. Yeah, but yeah, it was my very first box I ever opened, and I was like, you know what? Let's go back.
That's true. I forgot, because whenever I told you about it, that was whenever I got into Unlimited and Crucible First Ed was out, and you're like, I forget what you messaged me. You said something like, oh, well, the one that's out, this is the newest one. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't draft it, and it's got all, I'm just going to buy singles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that, to this day, I think Crew might be the set I've opened the least. So I'm pretty excited for that. We'll see if my Magic Juju can get you a Cold Foil Shiana or Arknight Shard. I've gotta get my luck to you in person.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Because the Cold Foil I got was Breeze Rider Boots, which I think graded at a 9, I think. So, you know, that's hundreds of dollars. I could have.
I mean, there's fantastic cards we could get in there, and Living Legend is a real boy now, so Cold Foil Bloodsheath Skeleton should be amazing if we happen to pull that. I mean,
yeah.
there's a ton of cards worth pulling. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest with you, the one card that I'm gonna be pissed off to see is the Tunic. I don't want that First Ed non-foil Tunic. I don't care. Like, get out of here. Be something better next time. We're not opening up Crew First Ed for a reason.
Which, I mean, that was my first Tunic too, I think, wasn't it? I'm
not sure.
I think so. I think that's the one I sold, and then I kept the boots.
I know Heart of Findall was the first Fable you ever pulled and damaged.
Right? Yeah, definitely. Big points for the first damaged Fable I ever damaged. Last two, thankfully. Though I mean, there's some for now. There's some master cogs I thought about ripping up as soon as I pulled them out, but other than that, yeah. Man,
Master Cog is okay. You know, LSS, if you're listening right now, yellow fables are like kissing your sister. I can say that since I don't have a sister.
Yeah. I think the downside is they're real hard to tear, which is going to be something fixed with the new foiling, right? Because the old rainbow foils have that plasticky, right, layer on them, and the new ones that they're printing, no plasticky, very easy to rip. James is like, rip every single one that you get. It's check it out, it's real cool. Well, not
So,
exactly.
I mean, that'll make things rarer for the rest of us collectors, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. If he's being, he was talking about it being. You said it doesn't pop, is what he said. I don't remember.
Yeah.
That part, but
He said it many times. He repeated it a couple times, which is why it stuck out to me. So,
I'm just trying to think what that means. Like, is it gonna be really dark, like those emissary promos from MST? I thought the emissaries were really dark.
I think so.
That
I didn't. The other weird thing he mentioned when he was talking about the foiling was that cold foils don't curl.
well, they don't. I've known that because the whole thing where you said it's plasticky. So the whole point is that you've got a layer of plastic and a layer of cardboard, and then the humidity with any type of moisture will cause the cardboard to warp, and then that obviously stretches the plastic, and then the plastic doesn't go back the same like cardboard would because it's been stretched.
I haven't actually. Let me just, so what is the cold foiling then? Let me see.
Well, I would assume that it is, still like a metallic layer, but I bet that it bends back and forth because it's more metallic than plastic. I don't know what it's made out of, but that would make sense to me.
So I'm going through a stack of cold foils. Shall we science?
Science? Yeah, why not? What is that?
This is a cold foil Evo Zoom call.
Ooh, we've had plenty of those at work. Not really.
Yeah, so
Evo Teams call.
God, this is gonna hurt. Okay. Oh, the light is not a friend, but let's see. Does it tear?
It will.
No, just super easy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because there's no plastic layer. It's just like whatever type of oilish stuff that they put on there is just, metal on there, right? Some sort of tin or aluminum. I have no
guess. Let me see if I can.
See if you can peel some of it off on the border.
I'm trying. Sorry for the murder. I should have put up a trigger warning on the screen before this.
Nah, don't apologize. We got other people shooting cards and stuff. They're much cooler than us.
Oh gosh, I love that guy's videos. I see he's on Blue Skies and commenting. Every time he posts like a funny video on Reddit, I'm like the first to comment on it. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. There is that other layer of like, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'll.
Nah, you got way too much light for me to be able to see.
You see that black layer? There's like a black layer between the paper. So that's what you see up there on the edges. Is the in between. I don't know. Very interesting. Well, there goes 30 cents. I'll never get back again. Oh well.
I mean, those yellow Evos really suck. They would have to make a whole hero with a text box to do with yellow Evos to make those work.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll get someone one day. the next
Oh
all
yeah, I
mech
fully
set,
believe.
right?
No, I fully believe. Like dude. I say it so much, but it's just like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like a card in Yu-Gi-Oh can be absolute dog water for 20 years, and then they'll print a reptile, and all of a sudden, this searcher that searches reptiles from 1999 is now $100 because it never got reprinted again because they forgot reptiles existed for 20 years.
That's why I love this game. That's why I print money at this game too. I know, it's like just buy 50 of every Majestic, and eventually it pays off. Yeah. Easy,
Yeah.
easy money.
I mean,
Free tendies.
We're 100% seeing Knives Out do it. Other cards have done it. It happens all the time. Shout out to the Yu-Gi-Oh guys, MST.TV. They're the ones that even introduced me to the idea of figuring out that a card is good before the general populace figures out that it's good, and it's in every single deck list. You pick that thing up when it's $5 before it wins their top, and then goes to like 20, if not more. Some Yu-Gi-Oh cards are as bad as Fab cards. They'll go to $100 easy.
Yeah, I'm trying not to diverge too much, but we were metrics here for a second. I was noticed. So I got a bunch of bulk for Outsiders currently on my table, and I've been running through all of that. Do you know what class of cards is it very, very heavily, not only in card art, but also talked about in Riptide lore? Pirates. I was like, because I was looking at like freewheeling renegades, because it was actually brought up in one of the let's see, what was it? In one of the articles they brought up this week. In the Metagame Minute, they were actually talking a lot about freewheeling.
You know what
renegades.
I'm honestly hoping for? I'm hoping that they do a pirate, but it's just a ranger. I'm okay if they just call it a ranger. It'll be very obviously a pirate from the art and the other attack cards.
It has to be a pirate. No.
What you think it has to be a pirate class?
Yep. Pirates versus ninjas. It's a versus as old as time itself. Pirates have always fought ninjas.
Okay. Hold on. I agree with you if pirate is a talent, because then there has to be a pirate ranger, because Trench of Sunken Treasure is a ranger card, and Trench of Sunken Treasure cannot not be played by pirates. You know what I'm saying? So like if we get a pirate ranger and the pirate is the talent, then hell yeah. But I think it needs. I don't want to play a pirate without my EA Trench of Sunken Treasure. It says Sunken Treasure right on it, and it's got a pirate on it. It's absolute badass art.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of. I think they've been teasing it like throughout cards. I mean, Outsiders has a ton of it, mainly because that area. It's all coastline, right? And if you look at the map, you can see all the different like jetties and docks and stuff like around them. And it's a huge part of like Riptide lore. Talking about the pirates and then the piranhas and like things like that. So
maybe Riptide just is a pirate. I mean, who knows?
I mean, he was murdering pirates, I think. It was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might have did not read that.
but with all the criminal underground, pirates belong. Like, why? There's all that water and no one out there stealing stuff. So it's pretty interesting.
Came from somewhere, right?
Right. The other speculation I'm gonna make based on Outsider cards, actually. This is wild. I'm going to replace this image we haven't talked about yet with another image. Shoot. Nope, not that one.
Are you actually diagnosed with ADHD?
Yes, very. Oh my gosh, I changed the background. One sec. Actually, we're going to swap backgrounds.
I love you changing all of this stuff on the fly. It's pretty fun, actually. It makes it more interactive for me.
All right, we'll replace this with
Blood Rush Bellow.
Oh yeah,
Wayfinder's Crest.
that's the same person or the same outfit. So
Oh, yeah, it
I
is.
was, yeah, this is all Ranger stuff. I think. So look at the background here. Where I don't think any area based off the map really looks like this at all. And I was just really thrown off. I was like, man, I don't like. She's on a couple cards.
Well,
Ranger. We've been waiting for a Ranger. I mean, my bet would be the next time we visit Savage Lands in Solana.
oh,
They're
100%.
somewhere, right?
I don't know if we'll get Savage Lands and Solana at the same time, because I think Solana will always be tied with the Monastery. Like whenever we get Monarch Part 3, I think it will be Light and Shadow, Solana, and the Monastery again. You know, I do get why you're saying that, because of the story of Dorinthia going to the Savage Lands. That's how she, you know, it's like a formative event in her life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole like Rhinar versus Dorinthia, like the battle, right? Like they've featured it before, so.
Yeah, but that's specifically when they're young.
Yeah. I don't know. But then I was thinking, I'm like, they've got like some Native American vibes. Throwing them into the Savage Lands is maybe bad on the optics a little, like, but I think I mean, if they go for like the more native approach, I think we see an Earth Lightning Ranger. I've got
Earth Lightning Ranger would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
also,
I mean, I don't know. I like the Thunderbirds and everything are just such like a big part of like actual like native, at least in America, like Native American, and they do tend to pull a lot of references. So, and there's a lot of birds here. I don't know. I think Thunderbirds would be pretty cool. Thinking that we see another combo elementalist or a new one.
I think that the next time we see Rangers will be in Savage Lands, like you said. And I think that we'll probably get two kinds of brutes and two kinds of Rangers. So it might just be because I really think, based on the last Dev Talk, I think Dev Talk 9, I think Ranger and Brute are both also ally classes like Illusionist is.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be surprised for a Ranger to come out that gets some kind of ally that is like, oh, it's a Warhound. You play the Warhound, search your deck for Sikkim Shot, and put it on the combat chain attacking. You know, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, Rangers just need some love. Like, I mean, they got the Azalea, like, Armory deck, but, like, they need some proper loving. So I'm really hoping next set sees some Ranger something. Though it's going to be all Rune Blades and Illusionists. I already know it. I don't know. It's
I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen anything about Dromai yet. I think that she's been conspicuously absent in all of this marketing because, unless I'm very mistaken, I believe that Dromai is now the Empress.
Oh. Yeah,
maybe I'm making jumps, but I feel like she's the next in line. Somebody's got to take the leadership role, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very curious if we're going to be sticking to the area. I don't know. I don't think they'll. I mean, they've already gone to like Volca or like twice in a row. I don't know if they'll go twice in a row again, right?
What do you mean twice in a row?
Well, I mean, Dynasty and then Uprising, right? Or they're both basically.
Uprising and Dynasty were, yeah. I mean, so
they're like a companion
Dynasty,
block. Yeah.
Well, it's just hard to count Dynasty as being anywhere in particular. I mean, I know that that's where Regicide was printed, but it was not a draftable set. It was just, you know, them saying here's Assassin plus some other junk.
Yeah, well, I mean, Yeah, I mean Dynasty. I mean Emperor. We got the Crown. I mean it was very Volcor. Like it was the introduction, I think, to the region, and then we got Uprising. So
No,
I don't know.
Uprising was first.
Oh, Uprising was before Dynasty?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, but still, 2 in a row. I don't know. I don't know if they'll go back-to-back areas anymore at this point. So I'm kind of hoping I really want to go back to Savage Lands. It just seems like what other set other than the first 3 really played in the Savage Lands at all.
Well, so the Savage Lands was only around in WTR, which technically means that it wasn't really much around at all. Because in my opinion, WTR was like a collage, you know, of the story that was just to say, like, here's a little snapshot, this is Rhinar, here's a little snapshot, this is Katsu, here's a little you know what I'm saying? I don't think WTR was, unless I'm very wrong, I don't think that WTR was telling any particular story. I don't think Arcane Rising was telling any particular story.
Right. It was
not until Monarch.
It was the appetizers, the for the whole game, really. So yeah, I don't know. We need a proper Savage Lands. I don't know. I just really like the brute cards are so good.
I don't know if it's the same person or not, but I want either the Exude Confidence woman or the Poison the Tips woman. Give me one or the other.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I also just had so many cool, unique ranger people who could be heroes. I think like Widowmaker has an interesting lady. She almost looks kind of piratey, but a ranger. Maybe there's our pirate ranger, but you know, there's some other there's honestly a lot of reoccurring ranger folk on the cards arts. So
you want to flip back to that last infographic, because I do want to talk about Living Legend, because they brought it up in the dev talk as well. They like just came out and said it. They're like, Living Legend is the place for Starvo. And here's the part where I say I'm so right, and boo boo.
Not only just
with me.
Well, no, I know. Not only that it's the place for Starvo, it was made for Starvo. Like they're like Starvo was the reason it was created. So I mean, look at those numbers.
Yeah.
Bravo at 9, Zen at 8, Viscerai at 5, then a lot at 3, but
it was funny the way that he said that first event that they did for Living Legend, where he said, oh, well, we're just going to let them do it. And then top 8 ended up being all Starvo. And he was just like, I don't care, because I literally had people coming up to me saying, I'm playing this event because I miss playing Starvo. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I bet you talked to Pat or Charles. Because those two guys, Pat and Charles, they pioneered it and like ran the tables with him. It felt like that was a very skill testing set of armories, we'll say. But I've actually I think it's the rose-colored glasses. I think that Star of the Show has been gone long enough that all the times he's hurt me, you know, it's water under the bridge.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. I think Living Legend coming back adds a lot of staying power, because I mean, people get so dejected right when their hero hits LL, but now that it's viable, it's a viable format, people, you don't just lose your hero, you just change formats basically. So
also, if you want to know something silly, I started looking at some of these Living Legend decks because I was building my own chain deck for an armory at the end of the month. My local armory is going to do Living Legend, and I wanted to build chain, and I just went and looked at the price. These Living Legend decks, so much cheaper than CC decks.
Are they still? We talked about that, like the fact that, you know, because of the trend of people selling their decks immediately after, you know, their hero hits Living Legend or at the end of a season, you know, the price plummeted on a lot of these cards. So it's cool seeing that. Yeah, you know, that hypothesis actually really prove to be true. Like, how much cheaper do you think a Living Legend deck is?
Well, like, so Chain, I think it was like a $700 deck. You know,
Yeah,
you got like, I know, but I mean,
no, I mean that's a steal. Like, I mean, people don't seem to understand. They're like, oh, a competitive deck's like $1,000. Well, I hate to break it to you, but 2 years ago, a competitive deck averaged out at 1,600, right? And so, as much as some people hate to see it, the value of a lot of these cards dropped. The average cost of a very competitive deck right now is $1,000. Dropping to 700 for a Living Legend is huge. Like, I mean, that's so cheap and more accessible than you think it is.
And that's just Chain. That's probably
Yeah.
one of the most popular Living Legend decks. You go and get yourself a Stubby Hammerers and build the Phi deck. Like, go on Purple Discord and find in the Phi Discord, hey, what was that LL winning Phi deck list? And you put that thing together, I guarantee you that is less than $700.
Yeah, so it's fantastic to see. I'm really happy Living Legends really popping off, because I think it was a concern for everyone. And anything that keeps people in. I mean, this whole 3 months of announcements, really. I mean, with Rosetta popping off, we've got the gem packs, we've got the Living Legend. There's a lot better store support. They're really listening to what stores want. They're making changes. This is the healthiest this game has ever been.
They listen to the community too. I want to bring up Blue Sky again today, but I saw somebody talking on Blue Sky, and I don't want to just talk about whoever it was, but if they were saying that apparently they talked to James White about missing the mark on something of like including enough women or something. I really don't know the whole story, but she straight up said like you missed the mark a little bit last time, and he said, you know what, you're right, and fixed it this time. And I thought that was pretty awesome, because I mean, I already know that they admit their mistakes, like from the gameplay standpoint, but to be on Blue Sky and see somebody who's like just part of the community saying that they literally spoke to James White and he was very receptive to them and fixed it.
Yeah, and that's honestly pretty great to see a lot more, because a lot of people, especially in this type of game where you're this big at your peak hero, it's very easy to self-insert, and in this game in particular has a very high ratio of females in everything. So having someone for them to have their own power fantasies and play through is fantastic. So, and we get a lot of red-haired girls with feet out, so that's the James White special. It's
just had to go there. We were
go there.
So good.
We were so good. Yeah, not both. You get both sides of it. I don't know. When Verdant's feet stop earning me $3 a piece, we'll stop talking about it.
It really is one of the silliest things about this game, but it's such a meme. I kind of like it. It's just funny. It's just funny to me. Why is there so much feet? What is the deal?
And the more you look, the deeper you dive. Even like the lore, the other art direction, you just find it's just more and more and more and more. Like it's ridiculous. Once you can't not see it now.
Yeah, the Aesir is just a foot. Like
yeah, it's like was it the arrow and the FedEx symbol. Once you know about it, you can't not see it, and now you can't.
It's gonna be like
it's
gonna be like the 3 fingers from Elden Ring, but it's the 3 toes.
Yeah. Oh man. So what else came up in Dev Talk that stood out? Let me see. We covered the new foiling, the gem packs, the Living Legend.
I'm gonna start going to the Brian Gottlieb School of Philosophy, because I really, it's cool that he mentioned like, oh, he's getting older and things seem to be going faster or whatever. But he mentioned novel experiences, and I really like that, because I'm the type of person that like hyperfixates does something for 6 months or whatever, and then is like, I don't want to play with you anymore. And I like to go back and forth and try new things, but like that definitely spoke to me. You want to try and do something new as much as you can so that your life feels as long as it possibly can be.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but him and James are just soft, right? Like they're the most gentle seeming, like softest guys, and I am so glad that they don't work in a public company. I don't think they could work in a public operated company. Like I think private, just, you know, let them work it out. You know, they're just so emotionally and like mentally invested in this game, and it's always fun to watch them talk about things because it's just, there's actual passion coming from like the CEO or president of a company, which is insane to me.
I'm a little disappointed that a couple of guys being in tune with their feelings and you're like, they're soft.
Yeah, they're soft. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't. I mean, like I said, you know, if they were publicly traded, they wouldn't last, right? Like, but that's good
well,
in my
very
eyes,
much,
right?
yeah. Very much, all of us would probably never have been here if this was a Bandai game. Like,
Yeah.
if there was an anime behind it, and we knew the band, like, sure, One Piece is great, but you know, that's still an IP that is gonna not be popular one day and is going to lose support. You know, the Dragon Ball card game did that like 3-4 times already.
Yeah, I'm always surprised to see like Dragon Ball Super cards actually still do pretty well. I'm always surprised to see that.
Well, I think it's more from a collectability standpoint, to be honest, because I mean, people just love those characters. Like, I do not have never played any Dragon Ball card game, but still sometimes I'll look and see like a Super Saiyan Gogeta or something. I'll be like, damn, that's cool.
I wonder if they regret naming it the Dragon Ball Super now that the new Dragon Ball series isn't Super, right? They act Super.
What is it? Daimyo?
Daimo or something? Yeah, Daimo, I think. Yeah. But I don't know.
Again.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything about it actually, other than it's coming out and people like it.
Well, they just made everybody young. They did the young Goku thing again. They just made everybody young. I don't have any idea what it's about either, but I see that, and it just brings my hype down by a lot.
Oh, wait, where did you go?
I've been eaten by Reinar.
You have been eaten by Reinar. Why did you get eaten by Reinar? Guessed?
I don't know.
I don't even know where you're at. Wait,
I'm the disembodied ghost of Riled Up.
Yeah, I guess we're staying on the display screen. I don't know what happened. Like, I've never had part of a scene just disappear when I've swapped between them before. That's kind of silly.
Got to hit save, bro.
Wait, no, let me go back. No, I know you're listed. You're still showing. It's just.
You think I just went behind? Did I just move behind the scene? You gotta move the layer.
No, the background's all the way at the bottom. But then you wouldn't see me either.
Let's see what this is. This is a coup.
Yep. Sorry. The stream's over. Stream's over. This is the Dan show now, and yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out some other day. All right. New video format for everyone.
Yeah, just leave that skirmish season up there.
Yeah, I was trying to see what else other pictures I grabbed. Well, I guess I did grab the gem packs for one we talked about, but then we didn't go too much into that.
Did you have the hunted cards? Because we didn't really talk about the hunted cards at all yet.
No. No, I should have. I know that I think about it. I mean, I was looking at all the currently announced cards. There were a lot of, so part of the Dev Talk 10 too is also they announced the names of a bunch of cards, but they didn't tell us what they did other than like who they did. Like Verdance has like Ring Around the Rose.
Ring of Roses.
Yes. Is it Ring of Roses or Ring Around? I don't know. I was thinking Ring Around the Rose. Ring of Roses. Yeah. So I mean, maybe we're gonna get some more. I don't know if Verdance needed love this fast, but you know,
Oh,
she's
she
getting
did.
it.
She's not
Yeah.
good.
Oh
I mean,
man.
it's not like she can't win, you know, just like Jarl, which is one thing I wanted to point out because, you know, I'm very right all the time, except apparently about Jarl.
Yeah.
Because I still don't think Jarl is that good, but he did get 5th of the Battle Hardened. And to that I say he didn't win. But I did find it strange that he wasn't playing any Hypothermia. 3 Blizzard, but no Hypothermia. I feel like Hypothermia would be good in this meta, because it totally screws over Aurora.
Yeah,
Yellow.
it looks. Oh yeah, no, it looks like a lot of the cards that they actually announced don't have pictures yet. So there's some names for cards that don't appear to have card art.
Are you on Fabrary?
No, I'm on the Hunted Previews page on the Flesh and Blood site.
Go to fabrary.net/the-hunted. And that'll be everything that we know. Or everything that we could actually talk about. Aside from, like, Ring of Roses, which I actually saw a really good idea for Ring of Roses on Blue Sky. A gnome had the idea. It cost 1, and it was just a non-attack action with Go Again and Decompose, and then Amp X, which was the number of Earth cards. So it would be Amp 2 at minimum if a regular Decompose, or you could get it to Amp 3 if you banished all 3 Earth cards, which honestly that's a power card. That would be something that would put Verdance a little bit further into the running. I hope it's something that powerful, if not more.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking through the cards so far, it just seems really all over the place. Some of the art I really love, like, looking at for the Drakai, for the Emperor, for the Realm, and their micro text box extended arts. Those look so good. Even like the Long Whisker Loyalty, Blood from Deep. But then you look at Defang the Dragon and Extinguish the Flames, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Are you kidding me?
I don't like it. I don't know. It seems like too much of a weird.
Defang the Dragon and Extinguish the Flames are like traditional Japanese artwork.
Maybe it's because I was looking. Where was I looking at? I was looking at. Oh, on the Hunted Previews. Actually, I can just save this. Here we go.
I really like Defang the Dragon.
We're saving. We're changing. I really hate Defang the Dragon. But I think it's just because it's like a hodgepodge of like, it looks like 4 different art styles all mashed together, and I really don't like it.
It's just all watercolor, isn't it?
No, definitely not. Like the demons look very different than like the skeletons, and then like skeletons don't even look the same as other skeletons, and then you've got like the traditional samurai art, which I do like, with like the traditional, like the sky, the clouds, and everything, even like the spirit marks. But like it just to me it just like clashes, like these hyper realistic skeleton arms reaching up to a very traditionally artistic like samurai looks really weird and out of place to me. Even like the demons, the 2 demons don't even look like the same art style. It's like someone just like copy and pasted a bunch of little bits together. I don't know.
Right now, I feel like you're very specifically trying to rile me up, besmirching the name of Carlos Cruchaga here. I mean, look at that skeleton in the bottom right, and you think that is not the same as the paint in the background as well.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't look the same as the skeleton immediately, to his left, or like the other skeletons reaching up at the samurai. Like that skeleton matches the background, but not.
I mean, you could
anything
also take
else
into account that it could be a representation of Fang, who is the dragon being defanged being one art and the rest being the assassin art, which is trying to defang him.
I mean, that would be what I would say if I was in a vat of copium. I think it would be. No, I don't think so. I don't know. It almost just, I don't want to say like it looks like an AI hodgepodge, but
it's not. Don't say that.
Yeah, I mean it is. Let me see. What was the other one I don't like?
The other one that you don't like is also one that I like. It's Extinguish the Flames, and I don't understand why you don't like it.
Shoot, wrong one. Oh, sorry. I saw that. Oh my gosh. I need to not name all my images image, I think. Maybe one of these days I'll name one of them like background. All right.
Or the actual word that they would be.
Yeah. Okay. Image. Extinguish the flames. See, this is another one of those weird clashing, at least, you know, she's kind of the same as like the background, but then the mutated mass beast is just so out of place in this. Not a fan.
I mean, I don't know. I like it. I feel like it really brings like the idea that there is this place that is like Volcor, like everything's just this traditional, you know, Japanese or whatever it is type of situation, and then you've got assassins from the pits that are these nasty monsters that you probably would have a hard time even really trying to get them into a more traditional art style because of how chaotically ugly they are. Like that thing is like some kind of you know, Lovecraftian beast about to swallow her.
Yeah. Yeah, not a fan. I saw. I mean, they don't look as bad on the card.
What's your favorite art that's been on here then?
Oh, let me see. I don't think I have a big art of one. I mean,
Yeah,
as far as the cards themselves go, maybe Art of the Dragon Blood is probably my favorite out of all of them.
I would say my next favorite one is Power Stance. Because, like, Power Stance and Agility Stance are both, like, what I want out of the warrior from this set. Like, if I can feel like the guy in Power Stance with the two swords, you know, then I'll feel pretty awesome. That's what this set needs to do for me, because I want to play a warrior samurai, and it needs to scratch that itch. I'm really hoping that it does. The whole two one-handed daggers thing makes me feel like it gives me pause, but you know, I still gotta wait and see how things turn out.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Art of the Dragon Fire, Art of the Dragon Claw have the more traditional art style, and I think those go really well. Actually, honestly, all the Art of the Dragon, like even Art of the Dragon Scale, like Art of the Dragon Scale is like what the whole background of this image is basically, right? Like that style. They just don't have like other art styles mashed on top of it.
Because those are all the Draconic classes. Like, it's not the assassin.
Yeah, I don't know. Art of the Dragon Blood, it really, I think, does it for me. That, and then probably for the Drakai. And then maybe Art of the Dragon Scale.
I like Art of the Dragon Claw. That's probably my favorite Art of the Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, that's just such a badass. He's like a badass samurai with his dragon buddy.
So Art of the Dragon Claw, they give me the legendary helmet that looks like that. Give me the Art of the Dragon Claw legendary helmet. That is what I want. That will be my samurai warrior.
I actually really like how much detail they spent making that helmet look like that dragon's head, right? So like right above his eyes, like the yellow is like the dragon's eyebrows, and like the I forget what it's called, the part that rises up off the helmet matches the horns of the dragon, like the color scheme, even like the teeth on the mask of it, like Yeah, they paid a lot of attention to it, and it looks gorgeous.
I still don't know how I feel about Arachne slipped through the cracks. I think that he's cool, and I know for like he's got the same ability basically and the same HP penalty as Arachne solitary confinement. So I'm gonna be very surprised if we don't get Arachne solitary confinement as one of the playable Arachnes. Um, but now that we're finally talking about the hunted and Arachne and whatnot, and maybe possibly Arachnes, plural, uh, we did see that there was a cipher in the article that they put out today, where they said like who got spoilers and whatnot. It looks like if you go to hunt the hunter, it says the target is CDSL tier blah blah blah. And it turns out that if you ciphered that using the word chaos, it would change into agents of chaos. And I just wonder, because agents, right? You were already saying that maybe the spider is just like it's just an organization, and Arachne is like a title, and like there's many Arachnes because there's many assassins.
Yeah, I think that was my hypothesis. Is it's like the leader of like individual gangs and the organization for the spiders. So
I guess I just want to know, taking all that into account, look at Arachne slip through the cracks. What the hell is he? What is your theory there? Because my theory is that obviously I still kind of feel like maybe he's a shapeshifter, and Arachne is going to be many people, but one.
I honestly, I don't know. Slip through the crack just seems so out of place compared to everything else.
Oh my gosh, you know what I just thought of? What if we're
What?
both right? What if we're both somewhat right? You think it's multiple people, I think it's all Arachne. Look how many Arachne heads are in there. What if Arachne is just like a spiritual being that like possesses people?
Oh yeah.
I literally just thought of that. Why are there so many floating heads? Is it because there's multiple like Arachne energies going out and going into people?
I don't know. I guess I was originally thinking it was just like a bunch of different masks, kind of like, if we're looking at, let's pull up. Oh, actually, I don't know. Oh, what is this? Okay, wait a second. Let me save this art. I don't think I really looked at this art until now. We're gonna look at that second. Let me pull up this guy. Browse. Please give me the previews. Okay, one second.
Never.
If only it could stay the same size.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah, this little guy, But
I mean,
specifically, I mean,
so strange.
yeah, I mean, this looks strange, but I was looking more at like all the masks he's got like attached and floating around him.
Wait a second. Hold on. Okay, maybe I'm crazy. Okay, we've never seen Arachne's hair. I don't know what Arachne's hair looks like. Maybe it does look like that. Maybe this is the same Arachne that we think it is. But if I'm on to anything about the possession stuff, doesn't Uzuri have dreads?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if that is Uzuri possessed by Arachne.
So you're so we're going full symbiote, right? This is
Yeah,
the
kinda. And the
yeah.
fact that that thing kinda looks like the Berserker armor from Berserk, you know, or like Alucard's vampirism thing from Helsing. I mean, there is something supernatural going on with this situation.
Actually, yeah, you know what? I think the symbiote has a lot, because even that, you know, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the tree of symbiote splits, and like how we end up, or we start with like Venom and then Carnage, and now there's like 80 different symbiotes from little bits, you know, breaking off and or like slightly affecting people. So like if the main symbiote was like Huntsman, and then all the other like little arachnids that we're seeing are just like bits of it.
Oh, what if the hump is where the symbiote's coming out and he's got one brewing?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, look
one in the
where.
hump.
Well, yeah, I mean, look where it's coming out on this picture. This is where the hump is. So this is maybe what's underneath that shroud the whole time. Like,
Oh, like maybe Uzuri was under the Arachne shroud the whole time. That would
well,
be
no,
cool.
I mean, well, just like, you know, you look at solitary confinement.
I just know I'm waiting for some kind of twist because there is so much going on here that it can't be what it is on his face, right? It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to see whatever it is.
Yeah. Nope, not that one. Oh, let's go with this one. This is a good picture. Well, not really a great. Oh, no. Why can't you be transparent? Okay.
The amount of trouble that you have with OBS abuses me.
Nah, well, it's just the fact that like it only likes certain types of images, and then there's got to be a way to keep it resized. I just don't know how to do it. But I mean, this is really long.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry,
that
you're getting
Arachne
shrunk.
doesn't have any hair.
Well, no, but you know, this hump that I'm pointing out with my mouse, that you can't see my mouse pointing out.
It's very cancerous. It looks like it's not covered by anything. It looks like a pustule.
Well, I mean, this is his young form, right? So maybe this is the symbiote growing, right? Because, you know, we talk about, you know, Arachne's from the dregs, and there's you know, it's just pits
Raised
of
by
weird,
rabble.
yeah, just pits of weird chemicals and medical testing going on down there. So, you know, something brewed up real nice. You know, poor Riptide just got like big wounds and festering rot and stuff all over. And Arachne here gets a symbiote, realistically. Most likely. I think, yeah, you know what? I think symbiote is probably the best thought at this point.
Appreciate the confidence.
Yeah, no, it just fits. With all the art that we're seeing, though, still not really through slip through the cracks is just so out there.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what made me think of the possession thing, because it doesn't even look like Slip Through the Cracks has a body. It doesn't look like there's a body.
I almost want to think that it's going to actually go the way of like Go Bananas, where it's not actually like a playable promo. I don't know. Right? Like it's just
it's very plain. There is nothing about that should be unplayable.
No, I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, I don't know if it. Well, I guess we won't know. We won't know until we find out what the deal is with all the Arachnes. But it
Do you
seems
have any
more
thoughts
like
on what chaos could mean? Like, what type of cards will be the chaos talent? Like, what is chaos gonna do?
I mean, in my
Like at a
mind,
guess.
when I think chaos, you think, in my eyes, high RNG. I think dice rolls are coming back in a big way.
I didn't even consider dice rolls. It could be dice rolls.
I mean, what's more chaotic than rolling a d6 and see what happens, right? Like,
My actual guess was okay. So Slip Through the Cracks says the first stealth attack card each turn, right?
Mm.
So that means that if you go up against another Arachne, you know, you both, or like another assassin, let's say, then you'll both, it's sort of like a handicap. But I'm wondering why they changed it. Like in Blitz, it wasn't symmetric. It was Arachne Solitary Confinement gets go again on its first stealth attack this turn, or every turn. But whenever you get to CC, it's Chaos Talent, and it's both heroes. My guess, which is like the wildest one, I actually think it's wilder than Dice Rolls. It's definitely would be out there if they did it. But I think that Chaos might have some interactions where you will, like, give your opponent a card from your hand and take a card from their hand. And it's like you can't pitch it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I think the problem with those kind of mechanics, from where I've heard it brought up before, I think in Magic, is the fact that people just don't want other people touching their stuff. Like some people, you know, especially when you've got expensive cards, when you've got cards that are like 70, 100,
You gotta get over that real quick. You gotta get over that.
I mean, I don't know.
Every person has the right to touch your graveyard. I've got expensive cards in your graveyard. You know, it's polite to ask, but if you can't handle somebody else touching your cards, don't play. I don't know
about that. I mean, you see how many weird shuffling, like the people who speed shuffle, like I don't want them touching my stuff.
You don't. Well, I mean, once you talk about, like, you know, competitive play, you don't have a choice. They have every right to pick up your deck and shuffle it when it's time to shuffle.
Well, yeah, no, I was thinking more like, you know how like some players will like do that weird like riffle shuffle, like bum, 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 like blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's a lot of wear. Like if it's your own cards, that's fine. Don't do that to my card.
Yeah, I mean, I would say something like, hey, don't do that, but I mean, I don't know. There's some riffle shuffling I've seen where it's not like they're not doing the whole bridge shuffle like you would with a couple of pairs of decks, you know, if you're playing like Rummy or something, you know, it's just a little like drop more than bend, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Now, what the hell is this? Is this the Eye of the Symbiote? Is this Beast Within? But it's just like extra Beast Within.
So this is one of the arts. It's going to be for a card, but when we're looking at the hunted previews on the Flesh and Blood website, there were a couple cards, or there were a couple arts that we haven't seen on cards yet. This is one of them. There's another one of just like a wanted potion of Arachne, which I don't even know if it'll probably be an art card, but it may just be like a promotional image. But this one really stuck out to me as odd because this is kind of like, it almost looks like the light disappearing into like a black hole, but then there's also there's the little
claw around it. There's 4 fingers.
Yeah, there's I would say a reptilian or a dragon's claw, right? And then we've got all of our little black
and it's like lasering birds, yeah.
It's a very, very interesting one.
Yeah, because the symbol doesn't look like a symbol we've seen before, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think this is on one of the Arachnes that we got teased. Yeah.
One of the different forms of Arachne?
Yeah. That symbol in particular. Is there... Let's see if I have those. I think I have those saved off somewhere. Because I was just pulling them up over and over and over again. Oh yeah, my hunted folder. Where? Oh, actually, yeah. There's. I mean, I guess there's a lot of art we haven't actually seen on a card yet.
Still trying to zoom in to try and figure out where that symbol might have been. It's not on.
Yeah. 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 Maybe not.
Yeah, not that I notice. I mean, the tarantula looks the most like it, like the main one, because it's got all those red eye looking things everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess trapdoor does look a lot like slip through the cracks. So maybe slip through the cracks isn't a one-off, but it's very strange.
Yeah, man, I think I'm sticking to the whole symbiote thing. That was a perfect way to put it. Possession, wearing, whatever. Because I think that's why the people look so different, but then they're still have some things similar about them. I think tarantula and orb weaver are probably the two that look like the most outlandish. And I'm not quite sure what their deal is. Maybe Arachne is possessing something not exactly human in tarantula.
Do you think these are all... I was just thinking, like, looking at them, like Arachne trapdoor doing the double swords, to me almost seems more like a warrior. Like,
Well, I mean, they're all assassins and have 2 daggers.
do we know that they're all assassins?
We don't, so you're right. But Arachne, I mean, Arachne and Uzuri are agents of the spider and they're assassins. I think these are all assassins.
And there's a lot of big swords in here for daggers, and I mean, I don't know, the tarantula almost looks kind of tanky, right? The redback I could see as maybe,
I mean, I did see
more in the ranger. Yeah,
I saw someone guess that it might be Evo, and now that we've come up with the word symbiote, Evo might make more sense, because so okay, follow me. We've got slip through the cracks that we think might be, like, I thought there was some kind of like spirit thing, right? And then you said, okay, maybe symbiote, and then maybe that person was right when they're looking at these blurred words trying to figure out what the second to last word is that seems small. Though that word does seem like it could be Evo. Now we look at trapdoor, looking like he's definitely from Metrix, maybe even coming through some kind of portal. Do we think that maybe the Mecropotent Teklevasin, after he contacted the Shadow Realm or whatever to get his shadow energy, did he make some kind of Metrix computer virus to, like, harness Arachne's powers to, like, you know, is Arachne like some kind of chaos spirit Jarvis for all of their, you know, Arachne assassin garb?
I don't know, I was thinking almost more along the lines that maybe the chaos actually lets them change class, because I really think we've got a whole bunch of different classes in here. Like, visually, I think you could see a lot of these as different ones. Like maybe like the trap door one is like the mech one, right? You look at like how like the, what's her face, dash like database, you know, has a lot of that digital look to her through her cards. And then, you know, this looks like, you know, it looks like someone really loved the movie Hackers from the 90s, and you know, this is what an internet ninja looks like. But, you know, it could be like the digital version. You know, I could see like the tarantula, like if you could swap to some degree your class, like switch to a guardian phase or switch to like a more attack heavy phase, or
Just don't know if that would
evo
work
that way.
everything, because they've already said that like the Emperor is the only dual class. Not to say that they couldn't do it in the future, but James White has basically said, or at least I thought, that it was like Emperor's the only one for a while. We're not thinking about that right now.
I mean, that came out what, 2.5 years ago, so it's been a while.
Yeah, I just don't know how you would like. Okay, you've got Guardian cards in your deck, and then they're just you can. I don't know.
It would just be sideboard, right? You could side. I mean, I don't think you would build a deck around all 6 or 7, but you could build a deck around 1 or 2 and have them be an answer to something.
Yeah. I don't know how balanced that would be. I feel like that's like the one thing that sort of keeps things at a certain level.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, but also if these are all only be coming out as marvels, maybe what keeps you from doing it is a pile of money.
Well, that's not the case. These won't only be marvels. I imagine that these will probably be in non-foil and marvel only, just like the dragons from Uprising.
No, really?
That's my guess.
Maybe.
Non-foil and marvel only. Because they don't seem to like to do multiple printings of certain things unless it's a promo. Like whenever they did the Transcend cards in MSD, those are only regular and marble. They didn't make rainbow foil ones except for the promos or the pre-release.
Yeah. Here, let me pull up the other art that they have on this page that I don't think is on a card yet. Is really big and off the screen right now. 1 second. Here we go. Which could just be like, you know, a wanted list or like door-to-door inspection. Like, look at that poor old guy about to get executed in the streets.
You look like you've worn a mask.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
why is your forehead so sweaty?
The mask is in that giant beard he's wearing. He's got there, but.
This is obviously going to be a card. This is probably going to be something that just marks the opponent, I bet.
Oh, you think that's going to be what the marked card is for?
Well, there's going to be all kinds of different ways to mark heroes, but I think that this one specifically will probably just say like give target hero, create a mark token and go again or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Guess. Yeah, I mean, it's a good guess.
I could see it in red, blue, and yellow. Like your next attack gets +1, 2, 3, and create a mark token. That could be it as well.
Do you think they have a functional alphabet here?
Knowing them, yes. Because the art, like in whenever Arcane Rising came out and whenever they did Monarch, they're big fans of like that's probably just a what's those things that's like next to the crossword puzzle where it's just like all the words are scrambled and you got to figure out like the is and the first and then you can decode the rest. Yeah,
well, I'm thinking if the top word is wanted, then that second to last letter would be an E. Dead. And then if you look at the lines below
Dead or alive.
Yep, the E matches up.
And that
and the A's match up.
Yeah. And at the bottom it says Arachne.
Yeah. Wow, we're learning a whole. Oh man, I wonder if anyone's looked into this yet.
Yeah, it says wanted, dead or alive, Arachne.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder where else we can see these.
The context clues weren't part of it at all. We're just genius.
Yeah, interesting. Oh yeah, I know, but I mean that's enough to find out a whole lot of letters. If we can find some more writing on this somewhere.
Oh yeah, I bet. Well, I was gonna say writing anywhere on any of the cards should be the same. Because they do pay attention to that. Like I know for a fact that they do cryptograms like that. They've been doing them forever.
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, it looks like, and this is at least a very simple one, because a lot of times when you see like ciphers from like one language into another, they'll do like sounds more than letters. So, but this looks very straightforward.
I mean, it's just English alphabet with different symbols.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Arachne D Spider. John Arachne right here. It's
Arachne D Spider, 10 million berries.
All right. So yeah, that was 100 cards, gem packs. Oh, we need to talk. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna detour off of me trying to set us straight again. We talked about the Living Legends a lot and the way that they're going to redo them. And I was looking at the Living Legend today. I did see. Did you notice that there's now the separate column for points per season? So Pro Quest, Road to Nationals, and Skirmish are going to be what has a set number of points to divide across all of them, it looks like. Okay. So World Championship and Pro Tour are still 100 per event, which makes sense, right? You're really only having like a few of those. Callings in the US National Championships are 50. Non-American championships are only 25, which is kind of interesting to me.
Probably bigger market.
Yeah, I guess, it just depends on the market size. But Battle Hardened and is also at 25. Pro Quest Plus is 5s, but then it just straight up says Pro Quest Road National Skirmish. Each of those categories gets 1,500 points to divide across all of their events. So they finally gave like the details, it looks like, on how that's going to work out. So that'll change, obviously.
1,500 points per thing?
Per season.
Across all of them. Okay.
Yeah, so all Pro Quests will have, like, they'll calculate how many there are that season, divide by 1,500. That's how many points are allocated that season. At a Pro Quest, yeah. So that's cool. I'm glad that they broke this down a bit and really put points into like big events and not like this division. But with the sheer number, I mean, they're expanding so fast, right? New countries, it seems like every couple months, are getting fab cards. So,
well, I do want to bring up one thing when we're talking about the game expanding, and that is today I finally went back to the LGS. Well, at least the one that is where I live. I do go to one very regularly that already does an armory, but it's like, 45 minutes away and only does it twice a month. Not that I don't appreciate it. I love it, but I wish it was a weekly armory in my backyard. And so I went and talked to them. Of course, they still don't have Flesh and Blood. They said that they weren't going to have distribution until December. I go in there, they've got distribution, but they've got Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so I left, and I was feeling a little dejected, and I was like, whatever. And then this is going to sound stupid, but I go to a Family Dollar all the time because it's very close to my house. And I'll just run in there and grab a soda or grab a beef jerky or something, just $1 or $2. And this one guy in there, he's just always friendly. And I was just like, you know what, screw it. This guy seems friendly enough. I have like 0 friends around here. I'm just going to ask him if he knows anybody that plays trading cards games. And what do you know? He does. So I asked him about Flesh and Blood. And he's like, "Oh, I've never heard of it. Did you go and I was like, "Yeah, I went up to that store." And he said, "Oh yeah, he called the guy by name, and so he knows him." And I was just like, "Well, you've never heard of Flesh and Blood? I mean, it's been around for 5 years. I've been playing it for the last 4." And he's like, "What?" The first question was like, "Who made it?" And I was like, "Legend Story Studios." And he was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Yeah, it's private money." And it was like. So, like, the first thing out of his mouth was, like, wanting to know, like, the what is it, the pedigree, right?
Yeah.
And then the next question was, what's the IP? Like, he asked me, like, what IP is it based on? And whenever I told him that it was, like, its own thing, he actually was like, oh, that's interesting. And I really think that magic has got itself a problem. Because he sounded very like he asked me the questions that are wrong with magic today and then seemed interested. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, shit, I might have a friend here. We might get some flesh and blood going. But I will keep you guys updated on that one, see if I can convert any non-believers into true believers, and maybe I'll get an armory in my hometown for once.
That'd be pretty exciting. I think the only chance I have of getting an armory in my town is if I just start a game store in my town.
Well, you're on your way.
Yeah, I mean that is the end goal, and I hope I can find enough people. I mean, the fact that I went to the closest comic shop, which is 45 minutes away, which I mean that town is like 8 times the size of this town. And that comic shop owner has never had a single person come in and talk about Flesh and Blood. Is kind of upsetting. But
you know what? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you live somewhere where it's not like a metro area where, 5 people who all are interested in Flesh and Blood might walk in the door at the same time just on the sheer volume of humanity, right? If you're talking about somebody who has a magic store and they can't, they're just basing things on what people actually buy, you sort of have to, like, the only way anybody's ever going to find out about it is if they buy it, So I'm kind of hoping that I've got this inroad now because this guy obviously knows the people who are at this LGS, which is helpful because I'm new to this town. I mean, I was born here, but been gone for years, obviously. And I don't know. It just, I told him, I was like, it's really hard to get people to try new games, but I think it's really skill intensive. And, I made sure to tell him that there was no land screw. It was very, not very much RNG, and hopefully he checks it out, and we'll talk about it the next time. Because there's really nothing more I would love than to be able to have still have an armory, because that's, I moved away from the city to my hometown, and it's in the middle of the country, but you know what? Everything's still pretty nice. The only thing that I miss is like friends from armory. So if I could get armory back close, that would just be perfect.
yeah, so well, I'm telling you, couple years, 2 years, I'll be running a card shop, and then you can travel 3 hours to my
Yeah,
to my
yeah,
armory
that'll
events,
go
right?
to
Yeah.
your armory 3 hours away.
Yeah. Oh man.
So
I was actually-
we are going to open up Rosetta later, right?
We are. I was actually I think this is the one I was thinking. This Arachne art I pulled up with
this is adult Arachne.
This is adult. Yeah. So this is, I think, what I was thinking of with the cloak over the hump, like hiding away. Because it looks sharper, right? Like solitary confinement's like a big rounded like tumor, but this has some like angles to what's underneath the cloak.
Yeah. Can you bring up a pic of Uzuri as well? Because I feel like Uzuri is wearing the Black Tech Whisperers, and I wonder if Arachne is also wearing Black Tech Whisperers, or if they look a lot different.
This is the only one I have of her hand. Oh my gosh. Okay. There she is. Look at that.
Do you think that those could be the same boots? Because I swear to you, dude, I am now... I don't know. There's something wrong with my brain. I just keep thinking that Arachne is other people.
I mean, I think it's possible. I just think that's...
Because now... but see... Oh, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm such an idiot. Arachne is right behind her in this picture. No moron.
Well, in this picture, yeah. But if it's a symbiote that can transfer from body to body... Because we don't even know, really, that... the huntsman is still, like... the same Arachne. I don't know. I think there's some...
I've just got the slip through the cracks is just in my head. I can't bring together what slip through the cracks is with everything else. It's which I mean is what they want. They want people to be crazy about it and want to know what it is, and they're doing a good job because this art is just wild.
Well, yeah, I mean, but look at, I mean, compare, yeah, like you're saying, the legs to legs. Like, those could be the same boots.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to think if I can see, we can't really see her arms.
Yeah, you don't know what she's wearing on her arms.
Interesting. Actually, the one thing I was looking at even more, actually, this one is called background image. I think it's just whenever you click something, it automatically brings it to what you're changing. We're going to change back to OG background here. Where are you? Background. Wait, where did I put it?
I feel like if we're gonna make a podcast, we spend way too much time changing backgrounds.
The point isn't the backgrounds. Wait, what the heck? Where did I put it? Oh no. I don't know where I... Oh, well, now I'm so upset. It is in this folder. Why can't I see it?
Well, why don't you just say what you're gonna say? What is the what?
Hunted the Hunted. The steps. You know, I was talking about the that card from Outsiders.
Oh, the one that has the plateau in the background?
Yeah. Oh, I just had to get all files. So I was looking at this picture. And what do we have in the background? Big plains, big stone structures coming up in the back.
Do you think that that's a plateau? I don't think so.
I don't know. We can't see up high enough. I mean, but there could be plateaus. But if it's big, tall, arid area, I think it could at least be in the same zone. It may not be Savage Lands.
You've got to assume that they are marching on metrics, right? Or the pits.
Yeah. Yeah, which they would cross through the area between the Savage Lands and Solana on their way up to metrics. I think that's how the map works. So
the map probably just works like South Park. It's where they need it to be.
Yeah, I was actually thinking how limited the map kind of makes things.
What, because you don't think that everything should just be like one landmass?
No. But yeah, so they're down in Volcorf. They're heading towards the pits. They're literally going straight between Savage Lands and Solana to head that way. So yeah, that's
actually pretty sick. The only thing is, like, what's everything over to the left? Is Wraith flat? Is that the ice wall?
Yep. Unfortunately, it's just ice all around the edges.
I can't wait until they pull a Warcraft and just like zoom the map out, and then there's like another island.
I mean, they have to. There's only so much time you can spend in these. I mean, I don't know if it'll happen for maybe 3-4 years, but yeah, maybe the 10-year anniversary we get the zoom out, the full zoom out.
Wraith is very unique in the multiverse for discovering the internet before, you know, ships like crossing the ocean.
Right. Yeah, big whole like sentient databases and living scripts, and then yeah, boats.
Just
Zeppelins,
one
maybe.
Continent,
yeah. No, I kind of hope it's like. Did you ever read or watch Hunter x Hunter?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So when they after like the bug arc and they go to like the wild. No, well, after the Chimera Ant, right? They've got the all the royals, which I gave up on the royal arc, but the idea was they're going to like the most dangerous place in all of.
Yeah, and like, it basically was along the lines of past the ice wall.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it was. They're like, oh yeah, we're going after this dangerous place, and then you look at the map, and that dangerous place is 95% of the world. Like, it turns out, not that the dangerous place is a small island, they're on the small island, and everything else is like the wilds. So
it's like the same deal as I feel like Toriko just ripped that off.
yeah. Well, I think Toriko's probably older than Hunter x Hunter.
What?
Right?
Absolutely not. No way. This is now an anime podcast.
Yep. All right. Oh, actually, Toriko's way. Well, I don't know if I want to say newer.
It is newer than Hunter x Hunter. Or it's Hunter x Hunter. I want to call it Hunter x Hunter because I've never heard anybody call it Hunter x Hunter before. I called it Hunter x Hunter 8 million times. Yeah, that's one thing Brian Gottlieb and I have in common. Is the last time he was talking about like saying things the wrong way. Yeah, all the time.
Oh, I'm awful about it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter is much older than Toriko. Toriko's like from 2012 or some shit.
2008. But honestly, based on the art and the manga, because I read the manga, it just looked like an 80s 90s manga. It has a very old school style art.
Yeah, Toriko did it took a lot of inspiration from JoJo, I think, which I guess that's still not that old, but it does look like that to me.
I didn't realize how old JoJo was. Do you know what year JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was first published?
So I'm not a fan, so nobody get upset
Me
if I really
neither.
have no idea. But I think it's like 2000, 2007 maybe.
If I told you you're 20 years off, would you believe?
Oh, is it 1987?
87, yeah. August 10th, 1987.
I guess I was just thrown off because it's still making such new stuff. I didn't realize that the oldest one was as old as it was. There must have been a huge break.
Yeah, there has to be. Yeah, part 3 came out in 93. Wow. Any reason for JoJo's abysmal release schedule?
Ooh,
that's
we just
an
got
article.
some breaking news. New Ranger card just dropped.
Ranger card.
All right, Eddie, text it to me, please, if you didn't already. What is the new card? I bet it's gonna pop up on Blue Sky.
My biggest problem with Blue Sky is I keep thinking it's gonna have like a weird tech name, and I'm always expecting the BLUSKY. I always leave out the E because I'm like, this is proper tech naming, but no, it's just the actual word Blue Sky.
Man, new card dropped, and I have no idea where it is. There it is. Alright, Enchanted Quiver. Let me send this to you so you can get it up on the screen.
Yeah, I'm on the Flesh and Blood official Blue Sky, and it's not listed.
I don't know where it came from. Eddie just texted it to me. The Enchanted Quiver. Instant. Destroy this. Prevent the next 1 arcane damage that would be dealt to you this turn. If there's a face-up error in your arsenal, instead prevent the next 2. Interesting.
Oh,
that's a nice piece of tech.
You know why? We didn't talk about the Colin Kuala Lumpur, which is this weekend.
Oh, because it started an hour ago. Yes,
yeah,
it started right at 8 o'clock.
So that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I'm guessing. That would be, I think, the best guess for
Absolutely. Because they were talking about that they said there was a whole bunch of expansion slots getting spoiled this weekend.
Yeah, which is why I'm glad I bought on the news before anything got actually released here. 12.6.
Yeah, if they actually show like a good Vincent card this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel so happy about those widespreads. Though knowing my luck, they'll release a card that like is counter to all the widespread 3. And yeah. Yeah, but I just I figure, you know, if they're releasing expansion slot cards, it's usually like 1 per hero. So at, you know, worst case scenario, they replace 1 card in the current like average classic constructed deck. So
I don't even know.
But
I mean, this would be a way. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think this probably helps against Wizards pretty good. You have to have a face-up arrow to prevent 2. So what are you assuming that this has to be played with like? Oh yeah, it is gonna look great in cold foil too.
oh yeah.
More than anything, it looks like some kind of like a sensor.
Sure.
You know,
Oh
like
yeah, I was just thinking that because like you've got all like the mist coming out of it and everything. Yeah.
Frankincense tipped arrows in there. That's pretty decent though. I do hope that there are more powerful cards spoiled this weekend, because while this is interesting tech, will probably almost certainly be bought by every single ranger. Like I think like this is a necessary card. Very not exciting.
Yeah, but you know the one thing I do like about the expansion slot card being in equipment is, I mean, you're only gonna be running 1 of these, right? So having just 1 card in that expansion slot, because it's so hard to pull those expansion slot cards, I think having equipment in there is actually pretty great.
Son of a bitch to pull the cold foil of this.
I don't know. I don't know. I think about that a lot. That keeps me up when I work on my EV sheets. Like, do the expansion? Yeah. Well, I don't think a lot of the short printing affects necessarily the rainbow foiling. Like when I look at Majestics, right? Like, I'm just doing an average of all rainbow foils, but unless it says it's short printed, then you have to like do some funky like 0.5 or 0.6 or whatever,
I don't think that you can put the rainbow foil of the expansion slot into the same EV calculation as like the rainbow foil slot, because the rainbow foil slot itself can have a rainbow foil majestic from the set. Okay, it will never have a rainbow foil expansion slot card. The expansion slot can have a regular majestic from the expansion, or a rainbow foil majestic from the expansion, or a cold foil majestic from the expansion if it's in equipment. So in my mind, any of the rainbow foils or cold foils out of that expansion slot is a different multiplier than the rainbow foil for every other majestic in the set.
But that's the thing, is it definitely isn't for the cold foil, because the averages still work out no matter what slot the cold foils come from. You're still averaging that 1 cold foil a box. It doesn't seem to matter which slot it's coming out of, which is why I was thinking that the rainbow foiling might not matter as much.
Well, just because the average ends up being the same doesn't mean that it's the same rate. Like, did you separate out the expansion slot cold foils versus the non-expansion slot cold foils so that you could see if, even though the rate is 1 per box, is it 1 of the expansion slots every 4 boxes and the other 3 are not?
No, because then, I mean, we'll see. What would the rate for other cold foils would have to be, instead of a 1 in 24, they would have to be a 1 in 32, which is maybe possible, but I don't know how much they like to mix up those pull rates.
Nearly enough to be able to say for sure.
But I've definitely, I mean, I've looked at the cold foil pull rates off of those like mega box, like those mega pulls, like that one store that does like the 3,200 boxes, and it still breaks out to like 1 cold foil. Yeah, 1 cold foil a box. So I mean, yeah, I guess in theory expansion slot cold foil could be like a 1 in gosh, what would that be? 1 in 96, and then a regular cold foil would actually be a 1 in 32. That would balance out to a 1 in 24. But I mean, they're pretty upfront with cold foil pull rates on all of the.
I mean, I hear you about them being upfront, but the fact of the matter is that it's a totally different slot. So isn't that like a different sheet?
You would think so. But yeah, I don't know.
It's all speculation. It's not like we have any friggin' clue ourselves, you know?
Yeah, well, that's something, you know, I'm always worried about. Like when I'm looking at my EV sheets, so much of it is like trying to compile as many data points as possible and to make the best guess. So everyone's EVs are going to be different to some degree because there's so much guessing, and then depending on how much you break things down. Like my latest edition is I started adding in like rainbow foil majestics at like a 4x base majestic rate, and I did the same with like supers, and that I think puts some of my EVs more in line with where I think the boxes should be worth. But to do that same thing to like what's an example, like the Marvels, right? So when we looked at part of the misfail in the Marvel, like common Marvels versus like majestic Marvels, they did actually have pretty drastic different pull rates, which isn't ever, you know, talked about. And then trying to figure out what that actual multiplier is hard. I really want to make like a community sourced database. I'm surprised no one has, right? Like when you look at other games, a lot of times there'll be like a spreadsheet up and people will like just put in, you know, how many of each of these you pulled from your box. And, you know, with like 10 people, it's not that much, but you get like 100 people, 200 people.
Do that. You just haven't gone onto the purple Discord.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I trust that, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, right? Is like, what if someone's in there just messing with your numbers?
I could see them doing that too.
Yeah, especially other stores.
I was just gonna say the Wall Street people in general.
Oh yeah. Oh, I wouldn't trust anyone on Wall Street. But I think
now that is probably about it. And you actually made it the whole way. Surprising.
I have to pee so bad. That was the big concern. I was like, I drink. Oh, yeah. I'll put a stone in it. That'll block things up. Now, all right. So
let's just get your whole medical history out here, man.
Yeah. Nah, full kidney stones. I think that's pretty standard for any nerd at this point in their life. No, but so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a very quick break. Almost non-existent break, and that's going to mostly break up the stream into 2 separate streams so that I can put them into different playlists, send them off to editors, and all that fun stuff. So I'm actually probably going to kick it off almost immediately. So we're going to end this stream. It'll go offline, then come back. Really, I think you just have to hit F5. You'll see the new one pop up immediately. It'll hit the starting soon. I have to rearrange the whole room so that I can do a top-down opening, and you will see.
I need to get an energy drink.
Yeah, you need some caffeine so you can get the kidney stones that I have. And
knock on wood, I've never ever had that problem. Gallstones, sure, but now I don't have a gallbladder anymore.
Yeah, kidney stones. They're a rough life. But let's finish up. So, Riled Up is officially ending. Any call outs you want to make?
Till next time, Riled Up's gonna run roughshod all over you.